Good afternoon. This is Debbie Bohannon coming to you again. And today I am having my first of, I hope, many conversations. Don't know what it's going to be called yet, but I am interviewing. No, excuse me, I'm not interviewing. I'm having a conversation with my friend and my sister in love. She used to be my sister in law, but now she's my sister in love, Mrs. Stephanie Jones.
Thank you.
Stephanie, will you start by telling us a little bit about yourself? Like where you're from, what you do for a living, do you have kids, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Originally from Florida by way of Las Vegas. I have two children, two beautiful children. I work in the healthcare industry for the
And
past 10 years.
and what do you do? What do you presently do in the healthcare industry?
Presently, I help to oversee a department where we assist patients with applying for disability and Medicaid.
Okay. I am talking to Stephanie today because she has an honest passion to help young women. Her desire is to encourage and empower as many young women as she possibly can. So, today she will be addressing the need, the desperation of many young women today to have a man or mate, and how it has changed the culture of relationships today. First, though, will you give us a little background history about you? Like, what kind of child were you?
As a child, I was a sweet child. I was the only child for 18 years. I was good. I had a sassy mouth, but I was a good kid.
And what about your teenage years?
I was a hell raiser. Um,
Just keeping it
just
real.
keeping it real. Raised a lot of Cain and did things, made a lot of choices that wasn't wise at the time per se. But overall, to be honest, yeah, I think because I suppressed a lot, and when you suppress things, and then when it comes out the wrong way.
Okay. Now, can you give us a little bit of information about why you were suppressing things? What was happening that caused you to suppress things?
Okay, so well, I was raised by my grandmother
Okay.
and my aunt, and I think for me watching my friends grow up with their parents, and I wasn't living in the house with mine, it kind of made me feel a certain type of way.
Okay. Did you go to college?
I did not.
So, what did you do after high school? Did you go straight to work? What did you do? You talked about the choices,
Mhm.
about the suppression making you make some choices. So, what kind of choices did you make that you think, well, it possibly helped make you who you are today? But talk about those choices.
Well, coming out of high school, I did not go to college. I believe at that time I was the first grandchild. I may be the only grandchild um, in my family that did not attend college.
Okay.
So I came out of high school. What I did was I became a stripper,
Okay.
and I did that for about 8 years.
Did you enjoy it?
Very much so. I did.
Again, just keeping it real.
I did. Yeah.
What kind of lifestyle was that?
Honestly, people try to glamorize that type of lifestyle, but it's really you're in Satan's den.
Okay.
It's really nothing glorious about it, but what it did do was help me to become the woman I am today. Honestly, it truly did. It taught me a lot about people. It taught me a lot about the world. It taught me a lot about finances, and it taught me a lot about relationships too. At the time, I didn't know it was teaching me those things, especially about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But it did, and why I say that is because you would have when you're in that type of environment, all kind of people come into that type of establishment, and you have married men with fiancés or girlfriends or whatever the case may be. Um, and it just taught me a lot in the essence of you're married, but you're in this establishment and you're spending money that could be that could stay into your household for your family, your children, but you're giving it and paying me. And so it taught me a lot about, wow, is this something I want in a
Yeah,
relationship?
exactly.
So I didn't realize I was learning that at the time, but it did. It opened my eyes to relationships.
Okay. Now, before this is over, I'm going to ask you to give us a few moves, if you don't
A
mind.
few dance moves?
Yeah, just before this is over.
If an old girl have it, I try.
Oh, we know an old girl still has it. Okay, so let's fast forward to now.
Okay.
You just recently got married.
Yes, I recently got married. Yay for me. July 15th.
Is it your first or second marriage?
This is my second marriage.
Well, of course, it's your second marriage because I said in the beginning you were my sister. You used to be my sister-in-law, so of course we know this is your second marriage. And he is.
He is Patrick Jones.
And you're loving it.
I am loving every moment of it.
Okay, so we talk a lot, and we had a conversation a few days ago, and you asked me about a song called Weekend by Caesar or whatever her name is. So I listened to and I read the lyrics to the song, and I was so disappointed. So tell me, Steph, what in your opinion does this say about women, this particular song say about women of today?
In my opinion, okay, that song says a lot. But in my opinion, that song says that it's okay to be the side chick. It's okay for you to put me second. It's okay to treat me any kind of way. And I think that song, and no disrespect towards the woman who's singing the song, because she's just making her money doing her thing. She's a singer. But for me, what that did when I heard the song, it gave me clarity. So I have a lot of single friends, and I have a lot of friends that were married, divorced, whatever the case may be, that wants a man.
Mm-hmm.
But that song right there, I think the world changed. I think women, this is why I'm going to lose a lot of women people as far as followers, because that song really chunks everything down. So you might have a woman, thoroughbred woman like yourself, like myself, who have standards. That song alone, it wipes out standards. So when you meet a man, Deb, and you come with your standards, you have, okay, you want a man to have this, that, and the third. But nowadays with the women, I think the women have changed the game for thoroughbred women. Mm-hmm. So now it's okay. Women are saying it's okay to have a man to not work, to be at home sucking up your ass, eating up all your food, spending your money while you out working 10-hour, 12-hour jobs. It's okay just to say, oh, I got somebody at home. But when a man meets a woman who has standards and say, no, you're going to work, you're going to be a provider, we're going to work together to establish our empire, establish whatever it is, goals that y'all have. Nowadays, the women have flipped the script in a point where it is difficult. So when a man meets you, now you're confrontational. Now you're sedated, you're stuck up, you got too much going on. But it's not that. It's not that we're being stuck up. It's not that we're being critical or anything like that. We just have standards. Women nowadays, I think they don't have standards. I'm not giving the men a pass because they have an obligation too to stand up to be men and not say, okay, well, no, I'm not just going to be at home laying on your couch dead while you're going to work. I'm not going to do that. But a lot of them do that, but they can only do it with the help of a woman because women allow them to do it.
Okay.
And if women weren't allowing men to be boys, then when you go out and a man is attracted to you and they're trying to talk to you and you're talking to him with sense that you have, and they looking at you like, oh no, she's too much, because we got standards. So I think what we have to come back to is having standards. That song is disgusting to me, period, because she's saying, I think she said in that song, your man is my man, I got this man on the weekend, I'm topping him off on the weekend type of thing. That's not okay.
Exactly.
And so for you to sing that song and be proud of it, again, no disrespect to the woman who's singing it, but if I was an artist, I don't think I would choose that song to sing because I wouldn't want that image portrayed. So when you go meet a man, if you in the club and you singing that song and he's saying, oh well, she's down with this, okay, well I can let her know I got a woman at home, you're gonna be my side piece, and it's okay. It's not okay. But then you turn around, you have women saying, oh, it's hard to find a good man, I can't find a good man. Well, do you have standards?
Exactly.
So have you dummied down your standards just to say you got a companion, just to say you got a man at house or a husband? So that song alone, I think, just makes it where giving women the pass to be the side chick.
Okay. Now, she's in a position to influence young women too. So, what kind of effect is that saying to the women that she's singing to, or the ones that are listening to and grooving to her music? And so it's saying to them that she's okay with being a side chick. So
you should be okay too.
Okay.
You should be okay with being a side chick. Same, when you have a platform like that, I think when God gives us that platform, we have to use that platform in a positive way. So either you're going to utilize that platform in a negative energy or positive energy. So just like with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Married to Medicine, those things, I watch those shows for entertainment purposes, but I'm wise enough to know that I can't carry on like that.
Exactly.
But you have young girls that's growing up that's admiring these singers and these actors and actresses or whatever, and whatever you're displaying, sometimes our kids that's coming up, that generation, they can't decipher the two. They don't know what's entertainment and what's real.
Exactly.
So even though like Real Housewives of Atlanta, some of it might be scripted, some of it might be real, I don't know. But again, I'm seasoned enough to know that a lot of that stuff that they do with their platform isn't wise. But that's not to say that this 12-year-old is going to have that maturity in her mind, because her mind is still juvenile. She doesn't know that, okay, this is not right. But they'll look at that and say, oh, I want to be that when I grow up. So I remember it was a time when I was growing up, it really wasn't black women on TV. It wasn't black positive. So when the Cosby Show came out, it was like, whoa. Especially coming from where I come from, where my grandmother and my aunties raised me. And I see this black family, a doctor and a lawyer and the kids, everybody going to school, college, then a different world spinned out from it. That was positive. So that gave me something to grasp for, even though I made my own choices, but that gave me something to grasp for, versus nowadays, all our kids are looking at is the bling in the mouth, the goals, you know, even the strippers and the reality TV. I don't think they can, and they try to live that out. But when you have people positive like Kendrick Lamar, he comes out and he speaks positive energy. Erykah Badu, positive vibes, where those young kids, they ain't really feeling that. They want what's exciting and what's ratchet in a sense, because they can't decipher the two.
Now, the one thing that bugs me is that artists like Future, and I'm just, because I used to enjoy listening to Future because he had a positive message. I thought he did. But one day I heard this, no, he was on an awards show, and he was saying, represent, gotta represent, right? And it was, but so I looked at the lyrics, because I'm a see what they're saying kind of person.
Okay.
So I look at the lyrics, and he ain't saying represent, he's saying that for them. He's saying that because he's on this TV show, and he's being presented to white America. But when you listen to the lyrics, he's saying Percocet.
Yes.
Now, it appears that he's encouraging the use of drugs, but he's not a drug user.
Right. So why would you even speak about that if that's not who you are? So now, again, that goes back. We have these young, and I have a 16-year-old son that loves Future, Kodak Black, all of them, Jeezy, all of them. So when they listen to that, oh, I need to go get me some Percocet. Well, I work in the hospital industry where people are addicted to narcotics. They're addicted to Percocet. And that thing is serious. So when they talking about drinking cough syrup and popping Percocet, and you don't even do it. So why would you even spit that out your mouth when you know you have these young boys growing up looking and admiring you?
Exactly.
And they're going to do that because they can't, again, decipher the two. They're not mature enough to do that. So now, if that's how you living, that's something different.
Exactly.
But if that's not how you're living, why are you even speaking on it?
Exactly.
Why are you even speaking on it if that's not how you live? And that's a shame, because when you have children, You don't want your children looking or admiring somebody who's speaking negative into the atmosphere and where they're going to try to imitate or mock
Exactly.
what you're talking about when it's not your reality. It's not your reality. So that's why I admire people like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
I admire people like, now honestly, I even admire people like Scarface. Tupac is one of my favorite rappers. So is Scarface. But they're speaking their life.
Okay, the motorcycle just went by. You say who now?
I admire Tupac is my favorite, and so is Scarface.
Okay.
They speak their truth. They speak what they went through.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're talking about, but at the same time, if you ever listen to Scarface or Tupac, they gonna come out hard and they got some stuff to say. But when they wrap it all up, it's gonna be wrapped up into a positive package at the end of the day.
Wow.
So I think we have to just be very mindful of who we're letting into our ear canals, who we're letting into our spirits, because through music, through television, that's what our Black children are attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
They're not attracted to picking up a book or reading or learning about math or history or social studies or science. They're gravitated to entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's entertainment, if you're gonna rap it, but then come back and let them know this ain't really how I live.
Hello.
I'm just telling a story. I'm a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, but I don't know. It's kind of crazy, and I think with that being said, that also attaches itself to a lot of crime, where we have black on black crime. We have young boys killing young boys for no reason, just because they got hyped up listening to a rap song or watching a video or whatever the case may be. They trying to live that out. So I think we got to be mindful of that.
Okay, one more question. We're initially talking about young. Well, this won't be the only one. You mentioned black on black crime. What do you think it's gonna take? Because I hear all the time Black Lives Matter, and I am in full agreement with Black Lives Matter. But my take on it is that Black lives have to matter with young Black people too. Black lives can't just matter if a white cop shoots them.
That's right.
Or if a white person does something to them. Black lives have to matter, period.
That's right.
Period. Now, because we initially started out talking about women.
But can I say something about that? With
Yes,
Black
ma'am.
Lives Matter?
Yes, ma'am.
I think I agree with everything you said, and just to piggyback off of what you said, I think when it comes to Black Lives Matters, it only matters if it affects them.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it affects your family, your life, now you want to rally, you want to march, you want to be on the news, you want to talk about how Black Lives Matter. But when my cousin got murdered in Palm Beach County, Black lives didn't matter, because you got hundreds of people at a party, but ain't nobody heard or saw nothing.
But
Black lives supposed to matter.
Right. But again, it goes back to Black lives only matter if it's a white person committing the crime.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that to me is
You're right. So when we're killing and shooting each other, it don't matter unless it's your nephew, unless it's your cousin. That's the only time it's gonna matter. So that's what really pisses me off about Black people, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we wanna get all amped up and hyped up, like you said, when a white person or a white cop kills one of our brothers or sisters. But when it's Pookie next door and he done shot Ray Ray down the street, ain't nobody seen or heard, or they don't know nothing.
Exactly.
But let it be Pookie who done got killed. Now Pookie's family want to be out raising hell and going off on everybody because ain't nobody coming forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I think us Black people, period, it's kind of hypocritical.
Yeah.
It's kind of hypocritical.
But a lot of things, like even in the music, a lot of it is hypocritical.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Going back to the discussion about women.
Okay.
You work in the healthcare industry.
Yes.
Do you see a lot of, because we talk, these women are sleeping around and it's okay, and Ray Ray sleeping with Julia, and she's sleeping with Tanika, and so tell us a little bit about the the diseases,
Mm.
the diseases that they get from sleeping around like that.
Yes. So I don't think people realize once you get one disease, so
Mm-hmm.
say you get chlamydia,
Mm-hmm.
your body is open and immune to receive all kind of diseases.
Mm-hmm.
So there's diseases that are out that they don't even have a name for. It can penetrate through a condom. That's how powerful it is. It could penetrate through a condom. And CDC, nobody even knows how to cure it. So what they're
Wow.
doing, they'll just give them, medicine that's on the market now for whatever syphilis, not syphilis, but like gonorrhea or whatever. They'll give them that, but they don't even know how to treat it. So that's why I would put the fear in my kids. I would come home and let them know, hey, look at this. This disease is out. This disease is out, and they don't even know what to call it. They don't even know where it comes from, but it can actually penetrate through a condom.
Wow.
So when young girls, especially when they come through my facility, I always try to talk to them and school them on protecting themselves,
Mm-hmm.
because I told my daughter, before you before you want to engage in sexual activity, what you need to do is have the gentleman, y'all need to go get an AIDS test. So
Mm-hmm.
two things gonna happen. When you tell him, let's go get tested, two things gonna happen. Either one, he ain't gonna call you no more, which is fine. That joker ain't got to ever call.
Okay.
Or number two, he gonna say, well, darn, okay, I feel her. She respect herself. She respect her body. I do too. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So if a dude, it's same thing with the female. If I tell my son the same thing, if they're not willing to go get tested before you go that route, that ain't the person you want to lay down with.
Okay.
Because anybody in their right mind, and I always tell my son too, and my daughter, look at Magic Johnson. Not putting him on blast or nothing, because I love Magic,
Mm-hmm.
but look at him. It happened to him, and please believe, whoever he got it from, she wasn't crackish. She didn't look like a crackhead. She was fine, and she
Mm-hmm.
was beautiful. Diseases don't have a look anymore. It used to back in the 80s, not early 90s, but it don't have a look anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look just as healthy and flawless and skin banging and hair long as the next person, but they could be walking around with that package. So if you're not willing to go get yourself seen about, that person that's not who you want to lay up with.
Okay.
And that's real talk.
Okay. Okay, one last question. In biblical times, they used to talk about men having a lot of wives. So, but we're not in biblical times anymore. And back then, the women really didn't have a choice. But women have a choice today.
Right.
So, what would you say to them? What would you say to them about? You talked about the need. What we talked about, the need and the desperation to say, I got a man. He my man. But if he's not with just you, then he's not just your man. So, what would you say to any woman or to the young women of today about men that have several women? Because we don't live in biblical times, and I understand that women outnumber men.
Right.
But what would you say to them, even in that?
What I would say in reference to that is, don't ever play yourself short. Don't play yourself short. If you ain't playing with yourself, literally, whatever, don't allow nobody else to play with you.
Okay.
So, and I just want to say something, because I want to be honest. When I was younger, when I was in my early 20s, that didn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
I think my heart was so cold. My shell was cold. So for me, having different men, I just got in the mind frame of how the men would do. That's what the world would teach you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that wasn't a good thing, and I'm not bragging on it. But with that being said, I played, regardless of how much I felt like I was a player, and I had a different man every night to take me out, buy me this, that, and the third. Really, I was playing myself.
Mm-hmm.
I was the one getting played. So when you realize that you're playing yourself out to somebody who is not deserving of you, yeah, that'll make you change the whole way you think. because regardless of how many guys that have different women, I think when we do that, we're suffering from some type of self-esteem issues. When you have to have multiple women, multiple men to try to crave or satisfy whatever it is, it's something internal that you got to work with within yourself. Can't no man, can't no woman give that to you. I don't care how many you have. Money can't give it to you either. But I'm just saying, I think that we just have to know that we're playing ourselves at the end of the day. It's only so much laying on your back you can do.
Hello.
At the end of the day.
Wow. Thank you, Stephanie. This was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we were both nervous because this was our first one, but I think this was awesome.
Thank you. I do too.
I love you.
I love you back.
Okay. That's it, guys.